Sara, and my last name is Daqiq, and I'm a developer support engineer in here in Okta. What that means is that if you're a developer and you guys are using our API or any of our platform product, you guys have question or a bug and say, hey, Okta, I have found out that you have a bug in your SDK. And I'm like, oh, do we? And then I look at it and see, okay, we have a bug in our SDK, and then I communicate it to our product manager or vice versa. So, I'm from Afghanistan, hence my strange accent. I'm going to talk to you guys about what we do as when we talk about identity and how we securely transfer identity between platforms. That's what Okta does, right? Most of you use Okta. When you log in through Okta, there's a checklet. You click in that checklet, and it goes to whatever app that you want to go. So in the back end, there is some communication that's happening. That's why we say never build auth. We will build auth for you, right? What that means. What do we do in the back end? And this is just one way of us doing it. There are other ways as well, but we are going to just cover one of those. So the problem that we are trying to solve is that in today's increasingly SaaS-based society, we need to transfer identity information or any information securely between sites. How do we do that? How do we transfer that data? And from UI perspective, when you click on a checklet in your Okta dashboard, how does it go to a different app? So by the end of this talk, I'm hoping that I can convey what an OAuth is, what is an OIDC, and what is JWT. We will know hopefully by the end of this talk. So around 2007, this is Yelp. Yelp is trying to get you to get to your friends. They want your friends to convince your friends to sign up with Yelp, and they're asking you for your email address and explicitly for your Gmail password. What could go wrong with that? Can you guys guess? Right? Yeah. So I guess everybody got that, right? So they were asking. The problem with this is some of the problem that I can just off the top of my head is that they can even revoke your access by just changing your password. They can store your password in plain text, and you cannot revoke their access unless you change your password. So people came up with different solutions, different ideas. Different companies had their own solution. And then at the end, so fast forward to OAuth 1. OAuth 1, we don't care about it because we are not using it anymore. So what is OAuth 2, right? OAuth 2 is transport dependent. Unlike OAuth 1, it's much easier to work with, and it supports native app. Who can tell me how many apps were in App Store around 2007? Zero, because smartphone came out around 2007, and for a while they had their own apps only in the App Store. So there was a new problem to solve, and that was native app applications, right? So OAuth 2 solved all of it. The cool thing about OAuth 2 is I fixed this font. I don't know why it didn't get fixed, but okay. So the cool thing about the OAuth 2 is that it's transport dependent. That means that it relies on HTTPS to securely exchange data, and it's built as a foundation. So on top of that, you can use JWT or JSON Web Token. On top of that, you can use OpenID Connect or an identity layer on top of OAuth. And on top of that, you can use native applications. Please excuse my formatting here. Okay, so let's look at what that means, right? So in real scenario, I'm a hotel manager. I delegate access to a handyman who can get a key to from the hotel receptionist to go clean the house or my hotel room. So how does it look in app form is that I'm a user, I delegate access to Yelp, so Yelp can go get my token or information, a key from Google, so Yelp can change content in my Google Calendar. So imagine I'm subscribing to an event, Yelp can now create an event or block an event in my Google Calendar. So in the UI, it looks like this. It's when you guys all have always seen this, right? Sign up with Google, sign up with Facebook. When you click on that, it's basically what you're saying is that I trust Gmail. Gmail has my data, and I want Gmail to send my data that he has to Yelp in this scenario. So, okay, so if what happens in the backend when you click on connect with Google or sign up with Google, right? Let's say in this scenario, we're asking this Google to just give us the profile information and the contact information of a person. You can limit it to however much you want, however access you want for a person, right? Either read or write or whatever. So, and then it redirects you to a Google page. Google says, okay, put your username and password so I know you're the right person. And Google says, okay, when you put your username and password, Google is going to ask you, are you sure to give your data to Yelp? And I'm going to say yes. And then it gives me a key. And then I can use that key to go to Google and get more the contacts from that Google, the Google profile, right? Or Google API. So the key is given in this scenario. So, it's basically a redirect URL. So when you're trying to code it, it's just a redirect URL that you need to configure. You will have a Google URL. You will have a client ID, which is an app ID in Google. You will have a redirect URL. That means that when you get the key or the token, where do you want to send? Where does Google want to send that information? And then you will have the scope. You can limit it. You can say, okay, this person can have read scope. That person can have write scope only. And then you're going to say response type. Do you want just a token? Do you want ID token? Things like that. So before we see what the response to this will look like, we need to know what JWT is, because the response to this is going to be in a JWT or JSON Web Token, and state is state. So what is the JWT? JWT is just a JSON object. It's digitally signed and it is encrypted. It can be encrypted. So the format looks like this. There is a header, and then you have the payload, which gives you the data information that you have, and then there is a signature. Okay, so there is a header, payload, and signature. There's supposed to be encrypted string here. Okay, so when you decrypt that string, though, this looks like this. You have the user information and you have the key and just a JSON object, right? In reality, it's like your ID or a driver license. You have the name, you have the expiration, you have the header and the signature that proves that you're the right person. So that's JSON object, right? The token life is revocable. So just so I am clear, if we go here, this is the response to that URL that we created earlier, the URL that we created with the redirect and everything, right? So it's just an ID token in form of or an ID in form of tokens. The cool thing about this token is that you can revoke it anytime. If you don't like it, tomorrow you change your mind about giving somebody access, you can revoke it. You can extend it if you like. We can extend our token unlimited time, and you can separate the roles. So you can do read access, you can do write access, or all access if you would like. So answer to our question is, what is OAuth? OAuth is how you delegate authentication to another site. What is OIDC? OIDC is the information about the person that you get. So it's the identity layer on top of OAuth. And then JWT is just a way that the two formats communicates. It's a JSON object which is encrypted. These are the information that you can learn more about these authentication methods. And we are also hiring in my team. My manager is promising a lot of money for referrals, so please do me a favor and talk to me so I can refer you guys. All right, thanks.